Well, hey everyone, I wanted to showcase a really awesome little motorcycle that I have. I know that maybe this might, seem a little strange. I have all these motorcycles. Why would I need another motorcycle? And of course that motorcycle would be go over there. This one! I mean, when you have a KZ1000, of course you have to have a Honda Z50. And I've always wanted to have one of these. And of course, if you're going to have a Honda Z50, you might as well get one that someone's swapped a Lifan 125 into, that has a clutch and four speeds. And maybe it runs.
I'm gonna back up. You're trying to kill yourself.
The handlebars are broken. It's got a bald tire. Take a look at the tire. Photograph the tire. See how bald it is?
Beautiful.
Alright, you're gonna hide from the path. Okay, so we have a 1979 Honda Z50R. First year for the R. I think it's when they transitioned from, no, they had something called the Monkey, and then Z50A, which I think had more chrome on it, and then the R, which was around for a long time. You'll see it has the kind of orange color that the XL600 I have worked on. That same kind of orange color. I don't like the orange color. It has one fender, front fender. I don't know if it's the original. So significant change on the bike is somebody put a Lifan 125 4-speed that has a clutch. Gives it considerable more power. So it's a mess. The handlebars are broken, I just found out. So I ordered a ton of stuff. I just ordered some handlebars because I was going to try to weld those, but I'm not a very good welder, and they're only like $60, so why not? I already spent a bunch of other money. Seat's a disaster. The seat pan is snapped off, so it's like flexi seat. Foam's destroyed, cover's destroyed. Gas tank is a reproduction, but it's all dented. I'll get back to why it's dented up here. The exhaust is part original and part something off an XR75, I think the guy said. But not to worry. I paid $225 and bought this little Piposaurus here. to dress it up. So what am I doing with this thing? So there's this yearly convention of Japanese motorcycle stuff in the area of Massachusetts called Rice-o-Rama. And there's just tons of old 60s, 70s, 80s Japanese motorcycles and like a swap meet, and I think there's entertainment and there's drinking and it's a lot of fun. I went last year briefly. This year I'm going to go, I think, longer, and I wanted something to ride around on. A lot of people have like little mini bikes like this, even large people like myself driving around on things like this. It looks kind of funny. But all I wanted to do with it was just zip around Rice-o-Rama on it. So I got this toilet and I was just going to leave it and drive around on it as it is, but I just can't resist wasting money. So I bought about $1,500 worth of parts, and I want to do a complete restoration. I think that show is in about 3 weeks, maybe 4 at the tops. I think it's 3 weeks. So I want to strip it all down and replace as much as I can. I've got to get the frame and the swing arm painted. I may do that myself with spray cans, or I may bring it to the paint guy I use. He generally takes his time. I don't know if he'll be able to do it in 2 weeks. That's basically how long I'll give him. So the front fender hits. I got a new fender. This is not the original rear fender. I don't know what that's off of, but whatever it's off of, it's going to come off of there. It's garbage, so I got fenders. This cover's snapped off. I think the kid that put the engine in told me that he was trying to cut it for some reason. He was cutting the life van cover instead of just cutting this thing. Maybe he wanted to save this for some reason. Don't know. I believe I got this cover. It was like $29 on Amazon, $25. Hopefully it'll be the right one. Back tire, completely bald. Don't matter, I got new tires. I think the kid said he put wheel bearings in it, but when I asked him, I think that was in the ad, and then when I asked him when I picked it up, he was a little fuzzy on it, so I got new wheel bearings. They're pretty cheap. I got wheel bearings, I got swing arm bushings, I got steering neck bearings. What else? Yeah, I got a new seat pan, seat foam, seat cover. I got a new gas tank. It's like the same repop one, but it's not destroyed. It's not all beat to hell. Looks pretty good. And as you can see, the gas tank is like tractor red. At a certain point, they switched from orange to red, and I really like this red on the Z50. So the frame and the fork tubes and the swing arm are going to be repainted like tractor red. I have to find the right color. That wheel's kind of beat on. I got a new kickstand. As you can see, the bottom of it's missing. And I suspect that someone sawed it off of there, because if you go like that, you'll see that it's very close to the chain. So I think I'll have to do a little modification here. Keep it like that. Weld a little something in there. Anyway, I got the kickstand piece. And so why is the gas tank all dented? The gas tank is all dented probably because someone wiped out, but probably also because the steering stop is no longer present. So if you look at here, there's a kind of a flange here. See how it kind of has a notch in it? And then it has a notch in it over here. So the travel is between these 2 points. So right here, get back here, see if you can see that. Can you see right here? Let me get a flashlight. Boy, I'm ruining my shoes. These are not my, these are my good shoes. Okay, I guess they're no longer my good shoes anymore. I'll have to get some new shoes. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So you see that like rusty, volcanic looking mess right there? So the original stop is supposed to be like a little bar hanging down right here. And when you turn too far this way, it stops you. Like it would stop about there, and then it would stop about there. See how that doesn't hit the gas tank? Well, it's broken off. That stop is broken off. And you can, this piece here can impact this piece, and the handlebar can impact the gas tank, which it does. And if you wipe out, it probably bangs into it even more. Probably that's what happened, is somebody dumped it and bam. What I also saw as I was driving it is, you see this crack here? So, handlebars are cracked, but like I said, I ordered some new ones. What else? Okay, so I want to tear it apart and get it down to the component pieces. I have to fix that stop before I, you know, like paint it. And what else? And I do want to test fit the exhaust. And I probably should test fit the new kickstand. This kickstand, you see how it moves? Watch what happens. I pull it out with my foot. It'll lean over. That's about the proper lean when you put it on its stand. But when you pick it up, see how it comes in? So there's too much play in that thing. So it needs to be out here, and the spring is pulling it in. So there's that. Okay, the spring's not doing much now. There's that problem, and there's the problem of the fact that it probably goes up a little too far and will hit the chain. So I got to test fit the exhaust. I got to try to fix the frame. So this is on the frame, and test fit the new kickstand. And then I think once I'm done with that, then I can completely tear the bike apart. I think in order to make it easier to work with this area here, I think I'll take the engine out. So I'll test fit the exhaust, and then let's see, these foot pegs are attached to the engine. So I'll take a look at that new kickstand. Then once I'm done with that, I'll take the engine out and then start trying to deal with this. See if my welding skills have improved at all, which I know they haven't. take the seat off. The seat has one bolt that goes through the front, and there's two like C looking things that insert behind the shocks. It's been broken for a while. Okay. Piece of exhaust. There's a bushing. And let's see, there's two 10mm holding on the bottom part. Okay. Oh, psyched. Goes right in. Don't see a gasket. Okay, there is a... Yeah, there's a copper washer, crush washer in there. So I think that'll be fine. Stick that in place. Let's see, so there's some kind of a clamp. Okay. Oh, came with a crush washer. Came with that. I think this acts, if you want it to be a baffle, yeah. So this, you can put a baffle in it. I guess if you want to quiet it down, you can stick this in there. I don't plan on doing that. I'd like it to be as obnoxiously loud as possible. Okay. And then we've got this thing. So I assume that this goes into this bolt hole up here. That's for the seat. Right, so right about there. And there's a little thingamajig here. Nice spacer. It should be pretty nice for $224. But I do like it when they include everything and you don't have to go and fabricate stuff. I don't like to fabricate stuff, if you can't tell. Okay. Is that the right thread? Yes. So let's see, it goes there. Alright, there we go. So that clamp has a protector on it. It's chrome underneath. Take that white tape off of there. Okay. So I think originally they would have had a something like this, and you can put a number plate on there. Don't really know where we can put the number plate. I don't think I can worry about that later. The number plate would cover this up. This looks kind of nice. And although the engine is kind of scratched up, I could paint, when I have the engine out, I could paint the engine Honda silver. Maybe. That might be getting too carried away. Okay, so that does fit. So that's good. So kickstand, and there was something else I was thinking of that I better check. What was it? The cover. So I better check what I need to do with this cover. So I believe I can take this cover right off of here. It's missing one of the bolts anyway. So I'll put the proper cover on. Let's see if it is the proper cover. Looks like it's me. So I'll put this cover on and see if that is going to work with this. So maybe what happened is, if you try to jam this on there, I bet it interferes with the chain. That's probably what happened. And so we tried to carve away part of the of this, and he described what he did. He was cutting this with like a grinding wheel or something, and it got caught and it exploded and cracked off. So I'm probably just going to shave some of this original, if it's even original, chain guard out of the way. That's all I'll do for that. Okay, so how can I work with it? Yeah, let me put it up on like a little stand so that I can work with the kickstand a little bit. So here's the new kickstand. And that's with me pushing it out. There's no spring on it. It looks like it might be okay. I don't think it's going to hit the chain. So if you just put it down, I think the spring is going to hold it up. See, the problem with it is that if it doesn't lean over, it's going to fall over that way. And if you always have to do that, then it's a pain in the ass and you won't remember it. And I'm sure I'll let people ride it, and they won't know to do that. See which it moves. And that's with a washer. I put a washer inside this space here to make up. It just doesn't see how much slop there is there. It really seems like it's the same one, and somebody just cut the bottom off because they were dealing with this issue. I suspect what the real issue is that the life fan is probably thicker, and the original Honda 50, this bar here mounts to the bottom of the motor, it probably would be up a little bit. I'm going to guess that that's what the problem is. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these bars, these foot pegs off, and see if I can just bend this thing outward. So, or maybe I should leave it on it and just put some vice grips on here and see if I can yank on it. Am I just going to bend it? I don't want to bend it. I don't want to bend this. I want to bend this. But that's a big piece of metal compared to this tube. think about this. So if you see here, I think this is normal. So what I'm looking to do is grab this and tweak it around this weld. It's a big thick weld there. I don't want to snap it, but basically what I want to do is the angle of this thing, right? The angle of this, I don't know really how to represent it, but it's like this. I want to make it more like that. If that makes any sense. Let's see. So it's at this angle, right? And I want to make the kickstand go out more like this, just a little bit. I need gloves. Felt it move a little bit. I don't want to snap off this weld. It did move. It moved a little bit. Alright, so what I have here, I've got this surface and that thickness and this gap. It's too big. So I tried some metal washers. One is not enough. These ones. If I try to put two, it's too tight. Then I tried nylon washers. Those are also too tight. So I found a thick lock washer and bent it so it's no longer a lock washer. And I think if I put that in the gap, I think that would be good. A little bit of wiggle in it. I wonder if I crank on this, will it take the wiggle out? Let's see. Nah, that's not really taking any wiggle out. That's just making this probably close to stripping that out. So I'm not going to do that anymore. So let's put this 14 mil nut on there. And okay. Now, so now all I need is the spring. Get out of here. Get on there, fucker. Oops. Okay, that's what I'm working with. Let's try that. Alright, well, it's leaning over. Probably it's going to be on grass. And grass gives a lot more. You put it up, and it's pretty far away from the chain, so that's good. And it's good and it's sturdy. So, okay, alright, that's good. So now let's go after this cover. See what the deal is with that. So I think right here, this part right here is hitting the chain. I think I could probably just zip a part of that right off of there. That's why that's not there. It's broken. The engine case is broken. Damn. And I didn't catch that. Shit. Well, I might be able to do something with a nut and some epoxy once the engine's out. So I'm not going to worry about that for the moment. So the problem is there's supposed to be a bolt. See where that broken thingy-majig is there? That's supposed to be a bolt. And it is not that's not supposed to be a bolt. It's supposed to be a hole that a bolt goes in, but it's snapped off. So I will play with that when I get the engine out. Okay, so I'm going to take the engine out. I'll start with the gas tank. Let's see. So the coil is mounted to the carburetor. The CDI is on a zip tie. Vision's probably for a battery or light of some sort. Here's the on-off switch. Unplug that. And that's two female ends stuck together. Okay. Yeah, so the on-off switch, if for the ignition, it's two females that stuck them together. Some zip ties. Okay. Electrical. Carburetor. Can't quite get that out. So let's see, let's take the take the intake off, I guess. Here's the coil, little baby coil. Take this rear brake arm off. Oh, I didn't take the clutch off. Let's see. Okay. So is that everything? Chain. Take the chain off. Is that it? I'll leave the foot pegs on it for now. Alright. Wrong way. Okay, one of the engine bolts is out. The other one's up here. Just a matter of wiggling this. Okay. Oh, this is pretty light. Alright, so stripped a bunch of stuff off of here. So that is of course no good. So I would say trying to find the same angle on each side. Yeah, I would say around there.
Right.
There. All right. So first thing is to clean that metal up. But I should probably get this thing out of the way. do have replacement steering neck bearings coming, and they are the type that all these little balls are put into a little ring that holds them in place, so this just doesn't happen. That's that. So it's going to be easier to work with if I just go ahead and take the swing arm off. Alright, so here's the frame. Just me, or those shocks? Those shock flanges, are they bent? Sure look like it to me. Hmm.